Welcome to our channel. Today we embark on a journey into the heart of maritime disasters, exploring those pivotal seconds before tragedy struck. Join us as we delve into the archives, examining the rare footage captured in the final moments before disaster engulfed these ships and their passengers. Prepare yourself for a journey fraught with danger, panic, and the ever-present shadow of the abyss. The night was still, the air bitterly cold. On the vast expanse of the North Atlantic, the RMS Titanic sailed confidently towards its destiny. On board, a microcosm of society dined, danced, and dreamt, unaware of the icy peril that awaited. In the crow's nest, lookouts strained their eyes against the darkness, then a flicker, a shimmering mirage on the horizon. Ice. The warning was immediate, the clang of the alarm bell echoing through the night. Orders were shouted, the ship's wheel spun hard to starboard, but it was too late. The behemoth, thought unsinkable, grazed the iceberg, its iron skin ripped open beneath the waterline. Panic, slow and insidious, began to spread. The unsinkable Titanic was sinking. The lights glittered, a beacon of festivity against the darkening Italian sky. The Costa Concordia, a floating palace of luxury, sailed serenely, carrying her passengers towards another night of carefree indulgence. But fate had other plans. A grinding halt, a disconcerting tilt, the festive atmosphere evaporated, replaced by a growing sense of unease. The Costa Concordia, a symbol of modern maritime engineering, had run aground, fatally wounded on the rocks. Chaos descended. Passengers scrambled for life jackets, their cries echoing through the tilting corridors. The crew, overwhelmed and ill-prepared, struggled to maintain order as the ship continued its slow, agonizing descent into the sea. The Costa Concordia disaster serves as a stark reminder of the unforgiving nature of the sea and the importance of preparedness in the face of disaster. The Baltic Sea, cold and unforgiving, churned under a bleak winter sky. Aboard the MV Wilhelm Gustloff, hope and fear traveled hand in hand. This was no pleasure cruise. It was a desperate flight from the advancing enemy, a vessel crammed with refugees seeking safety. Suddenly a distant roar, barely audible above the howling wind, shattered the fragile calm. A torpedo fired from a lurking submarine sped towards the Gustloff, its deadly payload aimed at the heart of the vessel. The explosion, when it came, was deafening, tearing a gaping hole in the ship's side. Panic erupted, a wave of human despair crashing against the relentless assault of the icy water. The lifeboats, woefully inadequate for the sheer number of souls on board, offered little solace in the face of such overwhelming disaster. The sinking of the Wilhelm Gustloff stands as a chilling testament to the brutality of war and the indiscriminate devastation it inflicts. A festive atmosphere filled the air, a carnival of laughter and anticipation. On the Chicago River, the SS Eastland, dressed in all her finery, awaited her passengers, employees of the Western Electric Company, eager for their annual company picnic. As passengers streamed aboard, their weight, unevenly distributed, began to take its toll. The ship, already top-heavy with its multiple decks, listed slightly, a subtle warning sign that went unnoticed amidst the joyous revelry. The Eastland, with terrifying swiftness, lurched violently to one side. Those on the upper decks were flung into the water, their joyous cries replaced by the chilling sound of their desperate pleas for help. Below decks, chaos reigned. The rescue efforts, hampered by the capsized vessel and the sheer number of victims, were frantic, but ultimately inadequate. The SS Eastland disaster claimed over 800 lives that summer day. The Atlantic stretched before them, a vast expanse of blue beneath a deceptively peaceful sky. On board the RMS Lusitania, a sense of normalcy prevailed, a stark contrast to the war engulfing Europe. Passengers, lulled by the gentle rocking of the ship, read, socialized, and dreamt of their destination. Deep beneath the surface, a German U-boat, a silent predator, stalked its prey. The Lusitania, though a passenger liner, carried contraband, a fact not lost on the submarine captain. A torpedo, a silent streak of death, sliced through the water, its course set on a collision course with destiny. On board the Lusitania, the first sign of danger was a muffled thud, a tremor that ran through the ship's very core. Passengers, their faces etched with terror, scrambled for lifeboats, their desperate cries drowned out by the hissing steam and the chilling screams of those trapped below. The Lusitania, mortally wounded, slipped beneath the waves with terrifying speed, taking with her over 1,000 souls. The sinking, a pivotal event in World War I, sent shockwaves across the globe, fueling anti-German sentiment and pushing the United States closer to the brink of war. The night was hot, the air thick with humidity. The MV Dona Paz, a ferry overflowing with passengers returning home for the Christmas holidays, plowed through the Tabla Strait, its decks a hive of activity. Unbeknownst to them, the MT Vector, an oil tanker laden with a volatile cargo, steamed towards them. A series of miscommunications, a tragic lack of vigilance, had set these two vessels on a collision course. The impact, when it came, was catastrophic. The Vector's cargo ignited on impact, engulfing both vessels in a raging inferno. The Dona Paz, transformed into a floating pyre, sank beneath the waves, taking with her an estimated 4,386 souls. The MV Dona Paz tragedy stands as a stark reminder of the importance of safety regulations and the devastating consequences of their neglect. The Baltic Sea, notorious for its unpredictable nature, churned angrily beneath a stormy sky. Aboard the MS Estonia, a sense of unease settled over the passengers. The once rhythmic rocking of the ship had become more pronounced, the howling wind a constant reminder of the unforgiving conditions outside. As the storm raged, a loud crack echoed through the ship. The bow visor, designed to protect the ship from the elements, had buckled under the immense pressure, allowing the icy water to surge onto the car deck. The Estonia, caught in the grip of the tempestuous sea, began to list heavily. Panic erupted, the corridors and stairwells transformed into a terrifying bottleneck of fear and desperation. The Mayday call, a desperate plea for help, crackled across the airwaves. The MS Estonia, her back broken by the unforgiving sea, slipped beneath the waves, taking with her 852 souls. The sinking of the MS Estonia highlighted the importance of maritime safety and the need for stringent regulations. The Atlantic shimmered under a hazy summer sky. On board the SS Andrea Doria, an Italian liner renowned for her elegance, passengers enjoyed the final leg of their journey. Meanwhile, shrouded in fog, the MS Stockholm, a Swedish liner, steamed towards them. A navigational error, a tragic miscalculation had placed these two titans on a collision course. The impact, when it came, was deafening. The Stockholm's ice-reinforced bow sliced through the Andrea Doria's starboard side, ripping through her like a knife through silk. The sound of crunching metal, the screams of terrified passengers, and the chilling hiss of escaping steam filled the air. Despite the chaos and the rapidly sinking ship, acts of heroism unfolded. Passengers and crew members alike risked their lives to save others, their courage shining through the darkness. The SS Andrea Doria, her elegance forever marred by tragedy, slipped beneath the waves, a testament to the unpredictable nature of the sea and the fragility of human life. The sun shone brightly on the yellow sea, a deceptive tranquility, masking the tragedy about to unfold. Aboard the MV Seawall, a ferry carrying hundreds of schoolchildren on a class trip, excitement filled the air. As the Seawall navigated the treacherous currents, a sharp turn, executed too quickly, shifted the ferry's center of gravity. The cargo, poorly secured and exceeding weight limits, shifted dramatically, sealing the ship's fate. The Seawall, caught in the grip of physics and human error, began to list severely. Panic swept through the vessel as the once level decks transformed into terrifying slopes. Trapped within the sinking vessel, the young passengers, their laughter silenced by terror, sent text messages to loved ones, their words a heartbreaking testament to their plight. The Seawall, a symbol of a nation's hope, slipped beneath the waves, taking with her 304 souls, most of them schoolchildren. The St. Lawrence River, shrouded in a dense fog, held an ethereal beauty that masked its treacherous nature. The RMS Empress of Ireland, a Canadian Pacific liner on a routine voyage, steamed through the darkness, her lights a beacon in the night. The SS Storstad, a Norwegian collier, approached, her presence obscured by the thick fog. A series of miscommunications, a tragic confluence of errors, sealed their fate. The collision, when it came, was swift and brutal. The Storstad's bow slammed into the Empress of Ireland's starboard side, tearing a gaping hole in her hull. Water poured into the stricken vessel, its icy grip tightening with each passing second. the Empress of Ireland, mortally wounded, sank in a matter of minutes, taking with her 1,012 souls. The tragedy highlighted the dangers of fog navigation and the need for improved safety measures. The sea, a source of life, sustenance, and wonder, can also be a cruel and unforgiving mistress. These maritime tragedies serve as a solemn reminder of the power of nature and the importance of human vigilance. As we reflect on these stories, let us remember the victims, honor the heroes, and carry with us the lessons learned from these maritime tragedies.